I don't really see.
So who is it? Your? No, that's all right. No, it's fine.
Yeah, but I don't really see why all these police cars are here. You know what for? Nobody was driving it when you come here.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, you know that. So I think I was getting my jacket out of the back.
So it's your car, is it, Paul?
Yeah, it's my car, but my brother's the one on the logbook.
Oh right, okay.
Paul has got an explanation why he wasn't driving his car.
It's very annoying. I mean, I can't drive because I had a crash in 2002, and it was a stolen car, and you know, my girlfriend died, and because of that, I think I've changed my life. You know, I loved her, and so to drive for me would just be stupid, and I wouldn't do it.
Paul is a disqualified driver.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. See, I haven't had no bad dealings with police for quite some time now. I used to be a real bad one. Yeah, but I'm not anymore.
Without any proof he was driving today, Shona's going to have to let him go. But it really rankles.
Even though he'd come up with this story, I still believed that he'd been driving, he'd seen the amount of police vehicles in the area, and I thought, actually, I better stop driving before I get caught driving and then leave the car and then come back when all the police cars have sort of disappeared. And that's what I had in the back of my mind.
But there is a glimmer of hope for Shona. She's going to check the garage's CCTV system to see if anything might have been caught on one of their cameras. And it has.
And the CCTV showed the chap with the baseball cap getting out of the driver's door. So this story of his mate driving him onto the forecourt, having broken down and left it there and waiting for recovery, was clearly just that. From just a little bit of police work and some questioning, we've got a disqualified driver. We've not even seen driving, but he's been caught on CCTV driving.
It's the end of the road for Paul. Even though his driving ban from 2002 was up, he had never bothered to retake his test and become a legal driver again.
So, you know, like, just driving while disqualified, isn't it?
Yeah.
No insurance, all that.
Yeah. When were you disqualified? A long time ago.
2002.
Yeah. Was that me that got you disqualified?
No, unless you was there when I had the car.
Paul's looking at a further disqualification from driving and will have his Jag seized. A bitter pill for him to swallow.
Up here?
It is pretty bad because it's going to be quite horrific for him to not only be in an accident where somebody's died, but to have lost a loved one. It does make you think, oh, it must be quite hard for him to even get back in a car, let alone to consider driving it, especially when you've been disqualified.
Following the terrifying crossover accident near Toddington on the M1, the traffic is running normally again, and Bob's side of the investigation is all but over. He's discounted there being any mechanical problems with the lorry itself.
Using the plan, we can plot the vehicles through, identify impact points and vehicle movements.
And although his sketches tell the story of how it all happened, they can't begin to tell why it happened. However, there's been a discovery that could help answer the question.
In the cabin of the wagon that he was driving, we found various documents that related to him and his driver's history. Whenever people drive heavy goods vehicles professionally, they must keep a tachograph, which is effectively a record of how long they've been driving, how fast they've driven and how far they've driven. There are a few discrepancies over the course of a few months. On a few occasions it exceeded his daily driving allowance. He'd failed to take breaks and so forth. He had worked the previous night, finished in the wee small hours, and then had a telephone call from his driver's agency telling him that this particular company were a man short and that he would be required to work. That left him a fairly short amount of time between shifts.
We worked out he'd been without food for 17 and a half hours. We just couldn't believe that.
There's always a cause to an accident, whether that be a mechanical failure, whether that be someone's poor driving. There's always a cause to an accident. We obviously need to find out what his version of events are.
3 weeks after the accident, they are at last going to hear his side of the story. In order to do it formally, he's been summoned to the police station to be arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving.
We need to ascertain some detail from him that we're not able to just talk to him about. We need to do it formally so that we can gather his version of events as evidence. He remembered passing the services, and as he passed the entrance to the services, he remembered feeling a bit woozy, sweaty, clammy, and generally unwell. He considered moving to the hard shoulder, but that was coned off. He then thought that he could make it to the safety of the junction, and that was the last thing that he remembered.
However, he also revealed that when he was in hospital, it was discovered that he had a pre-existing medical condition that could cause him to lose consciousness. As a consequence, the Crown Prosecution Service decided it could not proceed with the case, despite a lack of sustenance also being a possible cause.
I presented the evidence to the CPS to say, this is what the hospital said, this is what we believe might have happened. Now, Andy and I think he had low blood sugar and he's passed out at the wheel because of the amount of time he has gone without food. And because of that, the CPS said, we can't run it, purely can't run it, because if a credible medical expert comes up and says, yes, he had that condition, it would be thousands of pounds wasted at court.
The driver of the crushed Passat who survived the impact with the lorry, Nigel Sweeney, has been left feeling frustrated, but lucky to be alive.
Jeez. It's... seeing it like that, it's... understand why, the damage was done. As soon as I got into hospital, I thought to myself, well, how could that have happened? Why did the lorry swerve?
It's the first time he's seen the pictures of the crash.
So even now I can't remember it like that. I just remember walking away. It's actually quite horrendous. It's worse than I thought it was. It took a time for the lorry to hit me, and I keep thinking to myself, maybe I could have avoided him. Could I have done something to have stayed out of his way?
Jeez. Oh my God.
I'm glad I've seen it now, because it's actually different to what I remember, and now I can actually piece it all together. To be honest, I felt that I'd cheated death. Basically, I really thought I was going to die when I saw the lorry come bearing down on me.